Hi, it's Brandon from ThirstGym.com. Today we're talking about exercise called the row ergometer and the different things you can do with the row ergometer. So essentially this is a good cardiovascular based apparatus to be able to develop your aerobic or your anaerobic based system. It's supposed to simulate rowing on water. So we've got the lovely seat pad here that's going to move. It's pretty frictionless. And then we've got our control panel up here, which is going to be able to let us pick all of our settings in terms of what we want to do. And then over here on the side, this basically determines how hard the fan's going to spin. So basically the lower the number, the easier it's supposed to be, and then the higher, the harder it's supposed to be. I personally don't feel a huge difference in this, just a little bit from a massive swing like a 10 to a 1, but you can basically control how hard that fan speed is going to be. We pretty much just keep it towards the top. We've got our foot straps here, so when we get on the actual bench, then we can adjust these based on our foot size. For most people, you want the strap in the middle of your foot. You just want to make sure that it's not down here towards your toes or way up towards by your ankles, as long as somewhere comfortable. And then you can pull those in tight to basically lock yourself in. And then we've got the actual handle that we're going to row with here. So once I get my feet in and I'm secured, then when it comes to how we actually want to row, we want to make sure that from the get-go, we're long here, and we're going to actually push through our legs more than our upper body. As we get extended, then we're going to pull with our arms. So the first big mistake is when people start with this, they just kind of try to do a whole lot with their arms and not their legs. We want to make sure you're getting a big push and actually pull and lean back a little bit as we actually go to row. Our feet can come off, or our ankles, so our heels can come off a little bit from the bottom as we go down to get a bigger range of motion if you want, or you can keep your feet completely flat. Now the harder that you pull on this, the further it's going to simulate that you're pulling on a stroke. So the goal will be to pull as hard as you can each and every time to really get as much distance as you can. That's where that fan difficulty kind of comes in, because it actually is harder the harder you pull, and if I had that lower, it wouldn't be as hard. It is going to continue to go through distance, just like if you gave a big pull on the water, you're going to continue to go backwards. The things you can control on here, you're going to see your time, your calories per hour, how many calories, how many meters you've went, and then you can even look at what your projected paces are and all that. When it comes to programming using this, you've got a lot of options in terms of your cardiovascular based work. You can just do this steady state for 15, 20, 30 minutes straight at a lower intensity based pace. You can do intervals, which is what we really like to use it for, where we'll either give somebody a certain amount of work and rest ratio to what we're after, or we can say, hey, we want to accumulate so many calories in as little time as possible, or we want to be able to accumulate a distance as quickly as possible. It really just kind of depends on what you want from an energy system perspective. It is a good full body way to develop your cardiovascular system, because your legs are going to have to work and your upper body in terms of when you actually have to pull that down towards your belly button. The thing is, you really don't want to pull it towards your face like this. That's just going to make it a lot harder. If you're really just trying to get cardiovascular based work, stay where you're strong. Make sure you're kind of in a good rhythmic pattern. And as you can tell, I could do this for an extended period amount of time at this kind of pace, where I'm going to get my heart rate up and develop some aerobic capacities. Or if I wanted to push really hard each time and then try to pretend like I'm sprinting, then I could go as fast as I could to accumulate as many calories as I wanted for the machine. So overall, that's how you would use the row ergometer. The big things in it are just making sure that your feet are comfortable, you're holding on to this with your hands around it, and then find the setting on the fan that you want. Again, that's kind of personal preference, and then you can pick the settings in here. If you want to go for a certain distance, it can count down for you, or you can just look at the screen and then stop, and then you should be good. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks, have a great day.